Good morning, everybody. I didn't make a video outside this morning because there's so much noise, but it's nice to be able to be here in the Pure Energy Healing Academy to talk about life and the tightrope effect. It's something that I'm writing about, and hopefully one day it will be brought out on hardback and softback and to be spread around the world. The tightrope effect. What is the tightrope effect? Well, I don't think there's ever been a more appropriate time to talk about it than now, the time that we live in uncertainty and the unbalance of life, with everything that's been thrown at us, forced, pushed upon us. It feels like we're in a playground full of bullies, complete bullies, narcissistic monsters, evil, satanic. And you know the times when you were a kid and you just couldn't understand why the bully was doing what he was doing? You tried to figure out, is it me? Is it, why is this happening? And that's the tightrope effect, trying to figure out how to maneuver in life in a way that you don't want to seem to be on your knees, and you don't want to seem to be the one that's always, brutalized, attacked. Finding the tightrope effect, meaning that you're on that rope and you're walking it, and no matter what happens, no matter what's thrown at you, no matter how many times you're mocked, ridiculed, spat upon, punched, emotionally used as a punch bag, you're still on that tightrope. And nothing's affecting you anymore. You've got to the point where you're at that place of nirvana where the Buddha talks about. And that is that no evil, no darkness can affect you anymore because you've risen above that. So in my understanding over these 20 years of walking the tightrope effect, it's not something that can be achieved in a matter of moments. It's like feeding Einstein to a child. It just doesn't happen in a day. It's a process. And falling off that tightrope when somebody throws something at you like a rotten egg because they don't like what you've said, which is something that goes against their belief system, or something that may harm their agenda, their business, their mindset, their brainwashing, their program. So when you go against that, when you say, I disagree with that, or I think there's another way of looking at it, life isn't really like that. And if you just step out of that mindset and just take a look at the and it's like, why is it that truth is always attacked? Why is it that when you point something out, you're attacked, mocked, ridiculed? There's always a force attack. It's never, oh, hang on a minute, let's just talk about it then. No, very rarely. No, normally what you get is an abuse attack, ridicule, mocking, belittling. Never, well, why don't we just have a discussion about it? Why don't we talk about it? It's never on that level. And normally when you're mocked, ridiculed, when people fire things at you, throw things at you, when people threaten you with, violence or sarcasm, it's normally because they feel threatened. Absolutely. So I believe in something called energy healing. And when somebody sits with me and somebody says that's bullshit, I don't then start attacking them, threatening them. I don't start mocking and ridiculing them. I say, well, why would you say that? Have you ever experienced it? Have you ever tried it? Have you ever seen anything like this before? And normally you get, no, it's bullshit. Okay, so, but you've never experienced it, you know nothing about it, you've never tried it, but yet it's bullshit. Okay, so I would say, well, I've been doing it for 20 years. Do you think that somebody would spend 20 years of their life doing something that's bullshit, that doesn't, I can bring people here now who can show you documented evidence that their cancer has gone after 6 months or 3 months. So whatever was in them, it could have been a lump, it could have been whatever it was, it went. And I believe that there's something in this universe that is freely available that if we can utilize and give to the client can heal themselves from any kind of spiritual, physical dis-ease. And this person would look at me and say, I don't care. I don't care about what these people think. These people you're talking about are all crazy as well. But you don't know these people. So you're calling them crazy, but you don't even know who they are. You don't know their story. And yet you're behaving like a child that is angry, that is upset with whatever they've gone through, that somebody's maybe, I don't know, not giving them some crisps or some sweets, or they're not asked to play with other people, and now you're in this angry mode. You make no sense. None of this makes any sense to your aggression, to your stubbornness and childlike attitude of a spoiled child. You make no sense. And you actually look at humanity now, and this cut between this understanding that we hold, which is our intuition, our openness, our willingness to be able to see life and grow and expand like the ancients used to do. That's gone now. This is my box, and don't you dare threaten my label. This is who I am, and that's it. So you've been brought up in a world that has put you into a box, and you now believe that you're in this box, and that's it. Yes, he says. So who are you then? What is the box? Well, I am this religion. Okay, so what's that then? I don't know, whatever. Mormon, Joseph. Okay, so you're in that box, and that's who you are, and don't burst my bubble. Don't. So because of that, you now attack others. And I'm not just talking about religion. I'm talking about, let's say that I am a pro injection person. Okay, so you're in that box now. You're not willing to look at somebody who's fallen down at the age of 18 or 20 after taking that and rationally saying, well, wonder why this young girl or this boy has just fallen down and they've got problems with no, you don't want to know. You're not interested. You don't care. You don't want to know because there's something that's happened to you that you no longer are willing to look at anything other than what you believe in. So what I believe in is what I defend, what I will fight you for. So that pretty much sounds like, I'm going to go to war and my God is bigger than your God, and we're going to go and kill everybody in the name of my God, my religion. And this is, I think, been going on for centuries, but there's something else that's changed in humanity, and that is the disconnect, the life force, the energy, that they're looking into the eyes and seeing pure love and healing and seeing the ocean of the consciousness. It's like gone. And all it is now is the mind. The mind is only working as the computerized tool that holds information, and that information is all that there is. There is no going into the soul and the consciousness anymore, where we really come from. That is really who we are. And when we hold conversations with one another, we hold it from the heart, so we stop the mind from kicking off and knee-jerking. And the consciousness says, hey, hang on, just don't react, because that's the brain. That's the tool that's been overused. And now we, as a consciousness, have severed this because of certain things that we've done, and now we don't hold the balance. We are no longer on the tightrope. We are now completely fallen, and we are nil and void of that beautiful balance, which is called trust. No matter what's thrown at us, we're in our consciousness, so nothing can affect us. We have that faith, that belief, that knowing that each step you take, you're going to get to the end of that tightrope. And that beautiful balance that you hold within you is no longer there. It's gone for many people. And they just fall. They fall. And it's very difficult to hold conversations. It's very difficult to even interact these days. And it's very difficult to be around certain people who it feels like there's just no way I can get through. There's no way at all that I can feel when you say get through, I'm talking about here, because when you talk and it goes in here and it should run down here into the consciousness, but all you're doing is talking to this bit and it's going nowhere because this has no room for expansion. It's full already. So whatever's inside there, the computer is full. It's full. So you can't give any more information to this. And this is how it feels. So you're banging against a brick wall all the time. And it's like, this is no way to, this isn't a conversation. This is like banging your head against a brick wall. So we are at a point now that we're finding more and more people are struggling to deal with what's happening around us. And this void, this ever-growing separation between those that are losing their consciousness, that just don't seem to have that heart or spirit or strength or willingness or openness to be able to be the soul that we came in, to be the spacesuit that we came into. So now it's like this really obvious separation, and it's a struggle to be able to walk that path now and to have conversations with certain people where it almost feels like you're banging your head against a brick wall. So walking the tightrope helps you to release, let go, stop feeling the pain, and trust that you are here for a certain reason. And you are here for a reason. You're a shining light. You're the lighthouse of the world that shines. And for those that are still in contact, that are still connected, that are still in tune, that are still psychic, whatever you want to use the word, intuitive, empathic, whatever it is, there are still a number of souls that still are connected to whatever you believe it's the source energy or whatever you want to call it, but just to be attuned to what's going on. And I think the more I think about this, the more it makes sense. I am not here for those who have fallen. I am here for those who are still embracing truth. Those who still walk the path of their truth and stand firm when they can see darkness is trying to sabotage us. And those that every day do their best to try and shine a light over darkness and expose the lies, the hypocrisy, the monsters, the parasites that are in control of everything in this world. We are still trying to shine that light. And I think when you sometimes feel that, like I do on a daily basis, are we actually getting anywhere? Are we achieving anything? Is anything really truly happening? Who are we doing in this for? Why are we doing it? I always go back to the same thing. I came here to shine, to do my best, to speak the truth, to help as many people as I can, and to sweep my doorstep. And if somebody's ready, they will come into my life and they will say, hey, could you tell me about this? And then that gives you the opportunity to share your truth. And that's as much as we can do. But ultimately, I think that those who are of the same energy as you and I I think we are the support system for each other to keep going, and we will see many people fall. But maybe, just maybe, that's part of the journey. And to accept this is probably the hardest part of this tightrope effect. Nobody like you and I wants to see anybody fall on the floor, no matter even if it's our worst enemy. If our worst enemy, which we don't really have, but if there was and they fell on the floor, I guess that you would go and pick them up, because it's when somebody falls, it's like you falling. And when you are attuned to this, which is a universal energy, and that is that we are all one. I know it's hard to imagine or believe, but we are all one in that sense. There is another conversation we can have, and that is that there are certain entities in this world that do not come from the same light, the same ocean that we come from. And these are a different kind of entity. The entity that I believe that we are is an entity of love, of compassion, of healing, kindness. While we're here, we make mistakes, but we grow from them. We don't do evil things to feed from the energy which is created from evil things. We do good things because we feed from the good energy from what people admit, which we call healing energy. So I'm a healer, you're a healer. I'm a radiator some days, and some days I'm a drain, depending on how I'm feeling and what I'm seeing around me and what's going on. But ultimately, I believe there are two types of consciousness. One that feeds from love, and when I say feed, it's almost like an energy that gives a huge lift in vibration and frequency to another soul to help them heal and strengthen and keep moving along this path. And then there's another entity that is within the spacesuit that we're all within. And those are the entities that come from a completely different realm than we do. And what they do is they feed from pain, suffering, ridicule, mocking, belittling, death, disease, destruction. And how they feed from that is when they create that within a child or an adult or a community or the world, they feed from that energy of suffering. And I think it's something that a lot of people don't understand, because we've been hoodwinked, we've been lied to. And it, you know, if we've been lied to a little bit by religion, then there's no reason why we haven't been lied to a lot. And I believe now, and at one time, I believed the opposite. I believed we are all one, no matter how bad things get and how bad somebody can be, you know, and what they do. I now have come to understand that there is, through my work and through seeing and feeling this consciousness, it's different from ours. And I held that in for many years because I didn't want to upset people who are in the spiritual path. And that is that we don't all come from the same source. And if you understand there is light and dark, then it makes complete sense that there are light workers and there are dark workers. And the dark workers don't come from the same place as light workers, and they don't. So, you know, for me, when I see people smile on the camera with a kind of almost like, oh, you know, it's almost like they're loving it. And as they're speaking, they're talking about causing suffering to the world. You realize that they're a different consciousness. They don't come from where we come from. So upsetting people who have always been programmed to believe that we are all from one God is something that I wholeheartedly do not believe in anymore at all. And it's upset a lot of people. I've lost a lot of friends, a lot of spiritual people, a lot of people who believe in the God consciousness. And I do believe in the God consciousness, but just not the word God. There is a higher consciousness, a beautiful, powerful consciousness that we can all connect to and be part of. But there's also other consciousness as well. There is other sources which are a lot darker, which that a lot of people bow to. A lot of people consider that to be their God, and they will do the most horrendous, evil, satanic things to receive that very power that it's a dream to them. The power of what a fame, a fortune, of being able to, you see, power comes with looking down on people and to be able to command people what to do. So it's almost like an evil complex. We shouldn't call it a God complex, because I don't think God energy ever forces or looks down or tells people what to do. It's an evil complex. And this evil complex seems to be more and more heightened by what we see on the mainstream TV, which is 100% now an evil complex. It's been taken over. It is now part of those that I say are not of this source that we come from. So they are a different entity. They feed from pain and suffering. When you understand this, you realize that when you walk the tightrope, it's not so upsetting anymore, because now you know what's going on. And thus, it comes back to the one thing, which is that we all are in a spiritual battle. And that spiritual battle is between light and dark. So we walk on the tightrope. How do we keep our balance? We know that there is evil. We know that there are those that don't come from the same place as where we come from. Once we understand this, then we are not in confusion to why people would do what they do, because the confusion stems from this religious belief that we all come from one source. Once you realize that, you can let it go, and then you can start to create, you can start to share, you can start to expand, you can start to give, you can start to love, you can start to heal. And all of that would be towards the light. For there is no, in my humble opinion now, no point banging your head against a wall. There's no point trying to fix. There's no point trying to understand. There's no point trying to heal that what darkness repels. They don't want that. That is not part of their energy. So when you're giving your energy away to try and help and fix, you are wasting your energy. So where should that energy be focused? Well, predominantly on yourself, because when you expand by way of healing yourself, looking after yourself, walking the walk, talking the talk, that expansion is like a lighthouse. And like I said, the ones that are on the same path, the ones that come from the same place as you, will feel that, and you will feed them. That then them will then feel stronger to feed others who are of this consciousness, this love consciousness. And that's how I see it in a nutshell. So I wanted to make a little video just to help some people understand. I make videos, and I also like to share my thoughts and feelings to expand people and to allow people to share their truth, whether it's via apps and messages. I want to help people expand and to have their input, which is important. We all have our input to give and share. So I ask the difficult questions. I'm only asking, why is it that this world is so blind now? And it's nice to get the reaction of people tuning and saying, well, this is how I feel. And I've done this for 20 years. It's not all about what Mark thinks. It's Mark wants to hear everybody's thoughts and feelings, and they're great and they're powerful. And I was having a conversation with Dominic from Sheep Farm yesterday, and he said the beautiful thing about each soul in this world who wants to help and change the world to a better place is that we all come from a different angle. We all see things differently, but ultimately we all come to the same place with what we're trying to do. And I said, that's absolutely spot on. You're absolutely right. So I want to dedicate this wonderful day to you, to the light workers, to the ones who come from Source, this love, and those that feel the pain and suffering whenever they see the culling of the world by this evil complex that is continuously destroying and causing harm and suffering and poisoning our world and our food every day. And I want to say thank you, most of all, thank you for continuing this daily battle between light and dark. There is no answer to why. There just is an understanding deep within that we have to do it, and it's part of our journey. It's part of who we are. So continue shining your light. And with all my heart, thank you so much. And on a side note, October is my birth month. So I made a very special raffle for everybody this month who already goes to markbajerski.com. That's my main website. And if you make a purchase of 120, it turns into a raffle ticket, which you do anyway. You purchase every week, month and year. So thank you. But it will turn into a raffle ticket, and that raffle tickets, they're all going in there now. And there are 50 prizes this month. So I'm very excited about that and happy about it. And from £1,000 as the first prize to spend on markbajerski.com. And then there's a beautiful Bessanit's hedgehog worth 1,000. And then there's a trio worth 300. And then there's going to be another 48 prizes of crystals, oils, incense, and books and angel cards and what have you. So thank you so much for everybody who's bought a raffle ticket, who's gone and bought a crystal or incense and oils to the value of 120. And I look forward to the end of the month and doing the raffle. 50 beautiful prizes to be had. That's it really. I'm going to crack on with work. Today I'm working on Siberian jade, some blue lace, some beautiful pieces of labradorite, if I can ever say that right, and some tektites and some beautiful pieces of terahertz, which is Silicon Valley. And I'm going to crack on with some work and finish off my book, hopefully by the end of this week, which I'll look forward to. So I'm wishing you all a lovely day. I hope I haven't upset people too much today. I hope I haven't caused you any pain and suffering too much, but sometimes we need to see to be able to heal. And again, thank you so much. I'll link one link below, and that is to the Mark Bajerski website. So you can have a look and take a look at over 11,000 beautiful crystals that I've worked on individually, oils, incense, and everything else there. And that's it. Thank you so much for your support. Have a great day. I'm hopefully now feeling so much better. Just had physio this morning. My foot is feeling amazing. So, yeah, I'm really healing faster than I could ever imagine. So, thank you for all your love, all your kindness, all your beautiful energy sent my way to my foot, because it's working. Thank you so much. Have a great day, guys. Love you all.